That heated argument you just had with yourself out loud? That's not a sign of insanity. It might just be evidence that you're the smartest person in the room. What if the things that make you feel the most weird are actually secret handshakes into a club you didn't know you were a part of? You're not broken or socially awkward. Your brain is just running on a different operating system. One that's faster, more complex, and occasionally just plain strange. Today, we're not just listing habits, we're decoding the membership badges of high intelligence. Think about someone like Alex. Alex has entire, multi-part conversations with their own reflection while making coffee. They once felt a genuine pang of guilt for throwing away a broken pen that had been with them through final exams. At parties, Alex is often quiet. Not because they're shy, but because they're mentally deconstructing the social dynamics of the room like it's a game of chess. Their friends think Alex is a little odd. But what if these aren't quirks? What if they are the quiet, unassuming signals of a mind working in high definition? Let's break down the 9 weird habits that might just prove you're a member of this secret society too. First, the one-person staff meeting. In other words, talking to yourself. No, you're not going crazy. You're just holding a high-level strategy session, and you happen to be the entire board of directors. Highly intelligent people often process their thoughts out loud, not as a performance, but as a tool. It's like having a co-pilot, except the co-pilot is also you and kind of a sarcastic genius. Einstein was famous for muttering to himself, and elite athletes use self-talk to sharpen their performance. Psychologists call it externalized metacognition, which is a fancy way of saying you're giving your brain a voice memo. You are literally debugging your own code in real time. It's a weirdly efficient process, like troubleshooting with a brilliant but slightly sassy assistant who never takes a lunch break. You use it to untangle complex ideas or rehearse difficult conversations, building a mental blueprint line by line. Second, feeling empathy for inanimate objects. You bump into a table and immediately say, "Oh, sorry." You've named your car, and it feels like a betrayal to even think about trading it in. This isn't just you being cute. It's a powerful indicator of high emotional and creative intelligence. This tendency, called anthropomorphism, is the brain's habit of assigning human qualities to non-human things. It's a sign of a mind that is so adept at understanding social cues and emotions that it starts projecting them onto the entire world. It's the very same impulse that allowed Pixar to build a billion-dollar empire out of talking fish and emotionally conflicted toys. This trait shows your world isn't empty. It's populated with character and meaning, even if most of those characters don't technically have a pulse. It takes serious emotional bandwidth to worry about the feelings of your refrigerator, and that bandwidth is a hallmark of an advanced mind.
Third, perpetually feeling like an outsider. You're in a group, you understand the words, but you always seem to miss the underlying current. You laugh a fraction of a second too late. You find yourself questioning social rules that everyone else accepts without a thought. This distance isn't a defect, it's a superpower. It's the byproduct of what experts call cultural frame switching. Intelligent people often hover at the edge of belonging, which makes them exceptional observers. You don't get lost in the sauce because you're busy studying the recipe and silently critiquing the chef's technique. You see the hidden assumptions, the tiny micro-behaviors, and the invisible architecture that holds human interaction together. Sure, it can feel isolating out there on the fringe, but from the margins, you get the clearest view of the entire room. Original thinking rarely comes from the center of the herd. It comes from the edge. Fourth, a high-resolution moral compass. You see someone cut in line or hear a politician twist the truth, and you feel a physical reaction. Your jaw tenses, your stomach drops. This isn't just being dramatic, it's a sign that your ethical framework is hardwired into your nervous system. Highly intelligent people don't just have opinions about right and wrong, they build complex, internally consistent moral structures. When the world violates those rules, it doesn't just feel wrong abstractly, it feels like a personal offense. Philosophers call this moral intensity. It's why a single logical contradiction can ruin your entire day while everyone else is just trying to decide where to get lunch. This intensity can be exhausting, but it's also the engine behind every major social reform and every person who has ever decided to fight for a better world. You don't just want justice, you require it, like oxygen for your soul. Fifth, preferring the keyboard to the conversation. You will craft a perfectly worded, multi-paragraph email, but will treat an incoming phone call like an unannounced fire drill. This isn't a fear of talking, it's a demand for precision. Spoken words are chaotic, they rush and tumble out imperfectly. Written words wait for you. Writing gives you time, space, and the holy grail of communication, the delete key. Smart minds prefer it because it allows them to architect their thoughts without the social pressure of a live performance. In a conversation, ideas can be slippery. On a keyboard, you can pin them down, examine them, and ensure they are perfect before releasing them into the wild. Think of it less like hiding and more like being the structural engineer of your own ideas. Talking is improv. Writing is design. For a mind that values clarity above all else, that's not a preference, it's a necessity. And if you're a master of the written word, you're likely also a master of the unsaid word, which brings us to number 6, an advanced emotional radar. You walk into a room and can feel the tension before anyone even speaks. You catch the micro-expression that flashes across a friend's face, betraying their real feelings. You know the laugh is fake, even if everyone else is convinced. Some might call this being too sensitive. A more accurate term is having a high-resolution pattern detection system that's calibrated for human emotion. You're not imagining things. You're translating a constant stream of microsignals that most people's brains filter out as noise. It's like being fluent in a language nobody else knows exists. It's a blessing for analysis, but a curse at surprise parties. This sensitivity means you get emotionally overloaded faster than most because your radar never truly turns off. But while that can be draining, it also means you're the person who spots the opportunity, the danger, and the lie long before anyone else.
All that data you're constantly collecting requires processing time. This leads to habit 7, engaging in long, deep, silent phases. You might disappear for hours, stare out a window, or completely miss a text message because your brain is doing something sacred, real thinking. To the outside world, it can look like you're zoning out or being lazy, but inside, you are in full cerebral construction mode. This is not procrastination, it's incubation. You're running complex simulations, building mental castles, and crafting arguments so perfectly structured they could win a debate without you ever saying a word. This internal processing is essential prep work. So if someone accuses you of being too quiet, just tell them your brain is rendering and to please not unplug the power source. That aha moment you have in the shower, that's your brain finally dropping the finished work you didn't even know you'd assigned it. 8th, collecting strange and intense obsessions. You don't just develop a casual interest in things. You dive headfirst into the deep end. One week, it's the entire history of Japanese woodworking joints. The next, it's a spreadsheet detailing the inconsistencies in a popular sci-fi universe. This isn't just a hobby. It's cognitive curiosity on steroids. A highly intelligent brain craves depth and mastery. It's not enough to simply know a fact. You need to understand the entire system it belongs to. This trait is why you turn random trivia into entire internal universes. It's why innovation so often starts with someone chasing down a weird thread that everyone else ignored. Sure, it might make you the odd one at social gatherings, but it also makes you the person everyone turns to when they need an impossibly specific piece of knowledge. Finally, number 9, a skewed and abstract sense of humor. You're the one who laughs at the irony of a situation, not the punchline of the joke. You find humor in logical fallacies, complex wordplay, or the beautiful absurdity of human behavior. Your favorite jokes are often the ones that require a moment to process, the ones that unfold in the mind. This is because your brain isn't just looking for a simple setup and punchline, it's constantly scanning for patterns, and it finds deep satisfaction in discovering a clever or unexpected subversion of those patterns. You might stifle a laugh in a serious meeting because you spotted a logical flaw so ridiculous it's hilarious. To the rest of the room, you just look strange. But to you, you've just appreciated a piece of high-level intellectual comedy. So when you look at these 9 habits together, a picture emerges. The quietness is incubation. The sensitivity is data collection. The outsider feeling is just a higher vantage point. You stop seeing these traits as social liabilities and start seeing them for what they are, tools. You can begin to use your emotional radar intentionally to better understand people. You can schedule incubation time into your day, recognizing it as a critical part of your creative process instead of feeling guilty for not being productive. You embrace your weird obsessions, knowing that that's where your next breakthrough idea might be hiding. It's about shifting from seeing yourself as socially awkward to seeing yourself as intellectually advanced. Recognizing these traits in yourself is the first, crucial step. But the real game begins when you have to use this unique operating system to navigate a world that often wasn't built for it. In our next video, we're going to dive into the 3 biggest communication traps that highly intelligent people fall into and give you the exact strategies to get out of them. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. In our next video, we're going to dive into the 3 biggest communication traps that highly intelligent people fall into and give you the exact strategies to get out of them. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.